The Earth didn't see it coming. 1 second, the sky was blue, the next, a massive alien ship covered the sun. No warning. No messages. No war declaration. Just a tall, silent shadow floating above Washington, D.C. Everyone panicked. The news exploded. Military jets scrambled. But before they even reached the ship, one beam of light dropped from the sky and pulled up Jake Carter. Not the president. Not the generals. Jake. A 33-year-old former Marine turned lazy diplomatic assistant who happened to be eating a donut and texting his ex. He didn't even get to finish his bite before disappearing into bright white light and waking up inside what looked like a sci-fi control room 300 years ahead of Earth. Metal walls, glowing panels, alien language. He blinked. Okay, definitely not Whole Foods. Suddenly, the doors at the far end opened. That's when he saw her. She stepped in like thunder. 11 feet tall. Green skin with a misty glow. Armor tighter than common sense. A sharp golden collar framing just enough cleavage to make Jake forget how to speak English for a second. She had legs for days, an attitude for centuries. Her eyes locked on him, intense, judging, and maybe just a little curious. She walked right up and stopped, towering over him, her shadow swallowing him whole. You are not military. Jake looked up slowly. No. But I am emotionally dangerous. Silence. Her head tilted. She was trying to understand if that was a threat or a joke. He smiled again, cocky. I mean, unless you're married. Then I'm definitely a threat. 2 alien guards shifted behind her, ready to pounce. But her hand went up. Leave. They froze and obeyed. Jake raised an eyebrow. Wow. I can't even get guys to leave the bathroom stall next to me. Still nothing from her. Just those sharp green eyes watching him, analyzing, like a scientist about to poke a weird little frog. You are the one Earth sent to negotiate. Jake shrugged. I wasn't, but I guess fate thinks I'm cute. She blinked, slowly. The data feed behind her flickered, showing Jake's bio. Your records say you were discharged for punching a diplomat. He nodded. He insulted my choice of beer. It was personal. Her lips didn't move, but her cheeks, just slightly, tinged pink. Was she blushing? She quickly turned. The silence stretched. Jake tilted his head like a dog hearing a weird sound. Wait. Did I just make the scary alien lady blush? I am General Valthera of the Zarathian Empire. Can I call you Val? Or Thea? Or V? He winked. She turned again, slowly this time. Human males speak too much. And yet, here you are, still listening. Her eye twitched. Jake smiled. More dangerous ground. He liked dangerous. So, what do you want? Earth surrender? Our tech? Or just a dinner date? She stepped closer. Now only inches from him, and still, her chest was at his eye level. She leaned down. I want to know, she whispered slowly, voice like silk over steel. Why your kind laughs, while bleeding? Jake blinked. That's dark. And sexy. Mostly dark. Explain. He hesitated, then smiled again. Maybe we just like pissing off creatures that think they're better than us. She stared. Then, her lips curved. Just a little. A smirk. Confirmed, she was blushing now. Jake leaned in. See? I knew there was a smile under all that scary green muscle and shiny armor. She didn't answer. Instead, she lifted her wrist. A smooth black panel popped open, she touched a glowing sigil. And with a quick shimmer, Jake found himself inside a small, private chamber. No guards. No cameras. No windows. Just Valthera. And him. She stared down at him. Calm. Cold. And yet, somewhere in her eyes, burning curiosity. You will remain with me until I understand your human strength. Jake grinned. I'm free all weekend. She raised a brow. Earthmen, always this foolish. He winked. Only the fun ones. She turned and slid off a single piece of chest armor, placing it on a glowing rack behind her, the curve of her shoulder now exposed, elegant, powerful, and just slightly tempting. Jake swallowed. Is this part of the negotiation? She looked over her shoulder. Her voice, low, sultry, amused. You'll find out. To be continued fire. Black question mark ornament comment below. What do you think the general really wants from Jake, a treaty? Or a taste? Smirking face. Jake wasn't used to being undressed by giant alien eyes. But here he was, standing in the private quarters of the most powerful woman in the galaxy. And she hadn't blinked once. General Valthera paced slowly around him, her boots clicking against smooth metallic floors. The room glowed with soft violet light, warm and quiet, a strange mood for a warship. Jake whistled. Okay, honestly? This is the sexiest interrogation room I've ever been in. Valthera didn't stop walking. But her lips moved just a little. You think this is for interrogation? Jake raised his hands. Look. I've seen enough Earth movies to know this is how weird alien mating rituals begin. She paused. Her back was to him, but he could sense it. She was laughing inside. Silently. You have no weapons, she said without turning. Jake shrugged. Nope. Just stubborn charm and above-average cardio. Now she did turn. Slowly. Her eyes sizing him up like he was a puzzle with too many missing pieces. No fear. No hesitation. Not even your leaders act this way. Jake smiled. Yeah, well, most of them wear diapers when aliens show up. I'm just built a little different. She stepped forward. One hand gently tracing a strange button along the wall. With a soft hum, the room dimmed slightly. The air got warmer. Closer. Jake raised an eyebrow. Are we about to negotiate, or is this some kind of weird space date? She looked him dead in the eyes. My species doesn't date. Okay then. Quick question. Jake said, stepping half a foot closer, eyes locked on hers. What do you do when you like someone? She froze. Her pupils widened slightly. For a second, just a second, General Valthera looked uncertain. But only for a second. Then she did something Jake absolutely didn't expect. She touched his jaw. Slow. Gentle. You're softer than I thought, she whispered. He smirked. Don't let the soft outside fool you. Valthera's head tilted. You're aroused, she said flatly. Jake blinked. Lady, I'm in a room with an 11-foot-tall green goddess who just touched my face. I am a conqueror. And also high-key a baddie. I could crush you. Sure, but then you'd have to explain that to intergalactic HR. She blinked. Long pause. Then she actually sighed. This is not how diplomacy works. Jake stepped in, just enough to make her blink. You wanted to understand human strength, right? She said nothing. Jake leaned in closer. Voice low. You thought it meant weapons, numbers, technology. But our greatest power? Is that we don't care how big you are. If you're hot, we'll still flirt. Her lips twitched. That is illogical. That's humanity, sweetheart. She walked away. But slower this time. Jake noticed part of her armor on the bench. That shoulder piece again, gone. He picked it up, whistled. Gold-plated? Heavy. You always wear this much protection around your admirers. She turned, voice sharp. My admirers fear me. Jake smiled. Tossed the armor piece back on the bench. Then maybe it's time for an admirer who doesn't. She approached again. And this time, no more patrolling, she stopped right in front of him. Inches. Jake could feel the heat coming off her. That low humming sound filled the room again. Power systems, maybe. Or her heartbeat. They stared at each other for a long beat. Then, quiet. You confuse me, she murmured. You're not like the other humans I've studied. Jake tilted his head. And you're not like the aliens I expected to die from. Most would be terrified. Most aren't trying to get a second date. She rolled her eyes, but there it was. The blush again. Small. Soft. Real. But suddenly. Bang! The doors flew open. An alien soldier stormed in, breathing hard, clearly panicking. General, an Earth attack vessel is approaching. Armed. No orders. No communication. Her eyes went ice cold. She turned without a word, voice dripping with command. Track it. Lock systems. I want options in 60 seconds. Should I eliminate? Valthera opened her mouth. But Jake spoke first. Don't kill them. Everyone stopped. Valthera looked over her shoulder. Her eyes narrowed. You dare give me orders now? Jake stepped forward again, but serious this time. I know Earth Command. That ship? It's not theirs. It's a test. They're checking if I'm loyal or broken. You kill them, you prove them right. She stared. Thinking. Silent. 1 second. 2. 3. Then finally. Her lips curled again. But this time, no smirk. Just pure interest, and something else behind the eyes. Danger? Desire? We'll see how human strength really works. She turned back to her soldier. Hold fire. The room calmed again. Jake exhaled slow. Close call. Asterisk asterisk. But as soon as the soldier left, and doors closed again. She turned back to Jake and stepped even closer. Closer than before. That move. Her voice dropped. Was bold. Jake smiled. That's just foreplay, baby. To be continued. Eyes. Black question mark ornament comment below. Do you think Valthera wants to study him? Or keep him? Smirking face fire. Jake didn't expect to wake up on silk. But here he was. Half naked. Wrapped in some alien version of a soft bed. Inside the private suite of an 11-foot-tall woman who could break his spine or bite his lip. Maybe both. Probably both. He blinked slowly. Across the dim, lavender-lit room, General Valthera stood facing her mirror, calm and focused. Her long green back was turned. Hair braided back in warrior style. Most of her armor was gone. Just flowing black and gold silk wrapping across tight, toned curves. And a deep open back that made Jake suddenly very aware of his human flaws. Is this a dream? He muttered. She heard him. Without turning, she replied. Your Earth dreams often involve this much skin. Jake smirked. Only the good ones. She walked toward him now. Long, powerful strides, silent steps. No armor. Just her. Still taller than anything in the room. Still in control. Jake sat up, rubbing his neck. All right. So last night, I convinced the sexiest space warlord not to nuke a ship. She stopped near the edge of the bed. Yes. Jake raised a brow. I feel like that deserves some kind of medal. Or at least breakfast. Valthera didn't smile. Not this time. Instead, she lifted her hand. A white disc hovered down from the ceiling beside her and glowed. Jake squinted. That a drone or a smart toaster? It's a connection port. To my memory. He blinked again. Oh cool. Super normal. Def not about to download alien soul files or anything. She kept staring. I want you to see what your kind doesn't understand. Your browser history. Silence. Jake grinned. Fine, fine. Let's mind meld. But if I see anything freaky like eggs laying or tentacles in weird places, I'm out. Valthera extended her hand. He hesitated, then took it. Her fingers felt warm. Smooth. Too smooth. The machine buzzed. Jake felt a sudden rush. And then, he was no longer in the room. He was inside her. Inside her mind. Worlds flashed by. Explosions. War. Screams. Zarathian soldiers dragging slaves. Stars dying. Alien leaders kneeling. Valthera, a child, forced into training by age 6. Her first kill at age 9. Her rise to power, one broken planet at a time. The things she buried deep. The things she never told anyone. Then, something shifted. Jake stood in a wide memoryglass field and saw her. Young. Alone. Sitting by moonlight. Crying. Valthera, the destroyer, had once cried. He didn't speak. Didn't joke. He just stood beside her. Even if it was only a memory. Suddenly, the glass cracked. Light flashed. Jake gasped. And flew back into his body. Back in the room. Back in the bed. Back in front of her. He looked at her differently now. Not just tall. Not just hot. Not just dangerous. But lonely. Damaged. Quiet. He stood up slowly, soft. You okay? Valthera looked at him long and hard. You weren't supposed to see that part of me. Jake stepped forward, slowly, placing a hand on her waist. I saw it. Didn't run. A pause. Then. You're still aroused. Jake's eyes trailed down, guilty grin. I mean, your mind is sexy too. For the first time, she laughed. A real laugh, gentle and deep. It echoed across the chamber like music from a monster's lips. You are not what I expected. Jake shrugged. No one is. She sighed. Then leaned down slowly, their faces inches apart. Earthmen, she whispered. Dangerous. Illogical. Arrogant. Jake held her stare. And exactly what you need. They didn't kiss. Not yet. Instead. She turned suddenly. The Earth Council is calling. They're requesting a formal update. Jake blinked. What, like a Zoom call? My kind doesn't use Zoom. Yeah, I figured. No cat filters. She moved to the console screen, pulling up a comlink. But before tapping it, she looked back. Jake. Yeah? If they see you in this room, if they hear what I feel, they will kill you. Or kill me. Jake stepped closer again. Hand resting on the small of her back. Then maybe don't tell them the truth. They are watching us already. Through your implant. Jake froze. Implant? She nodded once. You were tagged during transport. They are recording every heartbeat. Jake's face changed instantly. You said private quarters. I said, it's mine. An Earth-installed spy tech inside me. She didn't answer. But the wall lit up. Incoming transmission, United Human Council. Jake turned to her. Tell me you can block them. Valthera narrowed her eyes. I can end them. The room began to shift. Lights dimmed red. Something big was changing behind the walls. Jake backed up a half step. Val, is your ship powering up? No. What is it doing? She walked toward him one last time. Close. Real close. And whispered. It's claiming you. To be continued. Smiling face with horns. Black question mark ornament comment below. Is Valthera falling for Jake? Or is he just her favorite souvenir? Smirking face fire. Most guys freak out when a girl grabs their phone. Jake? He freaked out when a spaceship grabbed his DNA. Literally. Valthera's hand was still resting on his chest. Her sharp, flawless fingers glowing faint gold. Soft pulses traveling up his skin like heat. Across the walls, her warship, the Chrysalin, responded. Glass panels lit up. Systems shifted. And then the screen flickered with 5 glowing words. Biobonding, initiated. Subject, Jake Carter. Status, accepted. Rank, partner command. Jake blinked hard. Wait, hold the alien horses, what does that mean? Valthera raised a perfect brow, too calm for what just happened. You've been recognized. As what? Jake asked, stepping back. Mate potential. Jake laughed, nervously. Okay, that's cute in an accidentally married an alien tanky kinda way, but I didn't say I do, lady. You touched me, she replied, seriously. He looked at her hand. Then down at his chest. Then the walls. Okay, I touched you, you touched me. I touched the armor, wait, what's the ship into? Consent's a two-way thing. Valthera stepped forward again, slow. The Chrysalin's bonding system is ancient. Reserved for leaders. Bloodlines. Union matches only. And now with me. You joke, she said, eyes narrowing, but the ship never chooses wrongly. Jake threw up his hands. Why me? I don't even keep plants alive. I'm not emotionally available, I snore, and sometimes I talk during movies. I know. You know. The ship scanned everything. Jake froze. Even my browser? Valthera didn't answer. But her expression said it all. Oh God. She tilted her head. Why, pizza person and delivery door? Jake groaned into his hands. Don't, just don't. But the moment passed. And something changed between them. She didn't laugh at his embarrassment. She just watched him. Like a new kind of specimen. No longer just a human. But now. Something dangerous. Equal. Claimed. The light shifted. The glass windows around them slowly darkened, not from night. From shielding. Private mode. Valthera exhaled, slowly. You are now connected to me, and to this vessel. You are not prisoner. Jake looked around, amazed. I'm crew now. Her lips curved slowly. No. He blinked. Then she stepped closer, again, until they were nose to chest. She tilted her face up, lips close to his ear. You're mine. A second of charged silence. Then. The communications panel exploded with alerts again. Incoming, Earth Council, Priority 1 ping. Jake pulled back. They're still watching. If I respond to them, I lose you. If you respond wrong, Earth thinks I'm a traitor. Her eyes narrowed again. You are. Well, not officially. He glanced at the screen. Heartbeat spiking. Her voice dropped to a rich whisper. What do your human instincts say? Jake didn't speak. Behind him, the ship pulsed again. Almost like breathing. Responding. Waiting. He turned back to Valthera. Okay. Real question. Speak. If this Bond thing is real, what happens next? Now. She walked past him slowly, letting her fingers brush his lower back. Soft. Intentional. She didn't even look at him. There is a ritual. Jake tried to swallow. Cool, cool. What kind of ritual? Sci-fi paperwork? Mind meld suckage? Finger touch marriage? She turned, finally, and walked right up to him again. Her eyes glowing. Her voice low. No. We test compatibility. Jake's eyebrows jumped. Oh. Yes. Like physical compatibility. She blinked. I will not damage your body. Jake raised a hand. No promises. I won't make some intriguing noises though. They paused there in that silence. Not serious. Not funny. Just electric. Then Valthera stepped back. Turned away. Walked toward the inner chamber of her suite. But right before she disappeared into the next room, she looked over her shoulder and said it. Not loud. Not shy. Just honest. I don't think I want to send you back. Jake stood there. Heart pounding. Joke ready on his tongue. But nothing came out. Because for the first time since he stepped onto that ship, he realized something dangerous. She might actually care. But before he could reply, the war alarm screamed. Warning sign hash system breach, unknown entry point, pull sector for warning sign hash. Valthera snapped to full combat mode. Stay here, she ordered. Jake reached behind him, grabbed the closest alien blaster-looking thing from the rack. Yeah, not happening. She glanced at him, eyes hard. But this time, she didn't argue. She just nodded, once. Side by side. They ran toward the danger. Someone, or something, had boarded. But the real question wasn't who broke in. It's what they came for. To be continued. Fire. Black question mark ornament comment below. Is Jake about to save her ship? Or prove why she never should have let him in? Smiling face with horns explosion symbol. The warning sirens were still screaming. But Jake barely heard them. Because as the wall exploded open, the thing that walked through the smoke looked just like him. Same build. Same smirk. Same hair, just cleaner. Same voice. But the eyes? Pitch black. No soul in sight. Yo, fake Jake said casually, brushing off his armored shoulder like he owned the room. Hope I'm not crashing your alien honeymoon. Jake blinked. Who the hell are you? The doppelganger smiled. Even that looked right. I'm what Earth wanted to send. Behind him, two more shadow soldiers stepped in, sleek armor, no faces. A whole unit. Jake felt Valthera brush his side. Her voice dropped into a tone he hadn't heard before. Somewhere between rage and protective heat. Zerathian clone tech, stolen. She stared at fake Jake. Copied you. Jake glanced between them. Great. First I get auto-married to an alien war lady, and now I've got an evil twin with better teeth. He raised his weapon. Cool. Sci-Fi just became a Jerry Springer episode. Fake Jake grinned wider. Didn't come to fight. Oh, good, the real Jake relaxed. I was worried. I came to snack. The imposter's black eyes flicked toward Valthera, slowly dragging along the length of her body. On her. Jake didn't even notice his own body move. A second later, he had crossed the room and punched the guy so hard he flew into a control console. The clones twitched, preparing to engage, but Valthera raised her hand. No one moved unless she allowed it. She tilted her head. You are jealous. Jake wiped his knuckles. Now. just defending alien royalty from trash porn bots. She stepped forward to Jake slowly, close. Protective, feels good on you. Jake smirked. Little possessive never hurt anyone. She leaned in, close enough to make his skin tingle. Good. Her eyes locked to his. Then earn it. She turned and walked straight toward the fake Jake, now rising from the wreckage. Valthera's body glowed, fingertips pulsing purple, her energy building fast. But something was off. The ship stuttered. Panels began dimming. Systems flickering. Jake turned to see the walls react strangely to the clone's presence. Valthera noticed too. Her voice sharpened. He's overriding the ship. How? Jake looked at fake Jake, sneering as he stood. The doppelganger shrugged. Same DNA you've been drooling over, General. He smirked dark. Easy to connect when you've literally connected. Valthera's face changed instantly. That clone used our bond to access the core system. Jake's eyes went wide. You mean, the sweaty flirty stuff from earlier is now a backdoor password? He looked at fake Jake, horrified. And I thought I was inappropriate. But the clone wasn't laughing anymore. His eyes turned glassy, black lines growing across his skin like spider veins. He raised a hand. The ship shook. I don't want war anymore, the fake whispered. I want her. And I want what made her blush. He pointed. You. Jake's blood froze. What? I was made to kill. But the mission changed. Valthera glared. You feel emotions? No. But I feel need. And from you? He looked straight at her chest. I learned enough to crave. She didn't flinch. Instead, whispered to Jake. When a clone develops want, it must be burned. Jake's jaw tightened. Then let's crank up the heat, babe. She gave a nod. And in perfect sync, together, they moved. Jake rolled right, grabbing a plasma blade. Valthera surged forward, body wrapped in light. The clone laughed, dodging fast. The fight went off like thunder. Flashes. Grunts. Sparks. Jake wasn't a soldier anymore, but hell if he wasn't pissed off and horny, dangerous combo. Blade met claw. Fists flew. Valthera vanished into smoke, then reappeared behind the clone. Jake tried to pin, got tossed like a ragdoll, slammed into a wall. Pain. Hard. But only fueled him more. Somehow, during the chaos, Jake's palm landed on Valthera's side. Her skin, pulse, connected again. And the ship noticed. Light surged. Fake Jake reeled back. What are you doing? Valthera shouted. The bond. Strength multiplies when both partners fight. Jake grinned, dazed. So we're Power Rangers now. But he didn't stop. They moved like a unit. Fast. Brutal. Until a lucky hit from the fake sent Jake flying again. Harder. He slammed into the security unit. Everything buzzed out. His ears rang. His vision blurred. For a moment, he saw Valthera almost fall, breathless. The clone standing over her? Smiling. Smoke rising. Finally. He reached for her neck. And at that last moment, Jake's hand slammed a red button. The emergency chamber lit the room in red. Everything locked. Gas hissed. The clone froze. Valthera rolled free. But Jake collapsed. Jake? She crawled toward him. He was barely conscious. His voice cracked. Just had to hit something dramatic. She pulled him onto her lap. His blood ran warm, over her arm. Too much. Don't die, she whispered. Voice trembling for the first time. He smiled weakly. staring at her lips. Make me stay. Then went limp. To be continued. Explosion symbol. Black question mark ornament comment below. If Valthera can save him. Should she use healing tech? Or just her mouth? Smirking face kiss mark. Some people fall in love slowly. Valthera? She was falling in love with a half-conscious idiot bleeding all over her royal chamber. Jake lay in her lap. Chest rising slow, almost too slow. A line of red dripping down his side. Face pale, lips parted, still smirking like he cracked a joke in his last breath. He looked broken. And somehow beautiful. Valthera had seen soldiers die. Dozens. Hundreds. She'd ended lives herself. But this? This felt different. This hurt. And she didn't stop to understand why. She triggered a panel in her wrist armor. A sleek pod rose from the wall, smooth and glowing, like a silver egg. She lifted Jake gently. Her touch, for the first time, shook. The pod opened. Scan, she ordered it. The ship responded instantly. Status, partner critical. Internal damage, rib number 3, fractured. Blood loss 11.8%. Neural response, low but active. Recommended, binding heal, level 4. Valthera went still at the last line. Her finger hovered over the level for option. Binding heal. It would save him. But it wasn't just medicine. It would link them. Deeper than before. It would open her thoughts, desires, instincts. He would feel her. All of her? Even the dark stuff she didn't share with herself. Another part of the screen flashed. Warning, binding may result in emotional imprint. Sexual triggers common. Proceed with acceptance. She stared. Another breath. Then looked down at him. His head tilted slightly, lips moving weakly. Barely a whisper. V. She closed her eyes. And pressed accept. The pod sealed. Inside, a warm white mist filled the space. Lines of light snaked gently from the walls, connecting to his skin, his chest, his temples. Not invasive. But intimate. It didn't look like surgery. It looked like a slow, soft kiss. Valthera stood outside, watching. Then she felt it. A surge in her stomach. A wild rush across her spine. His body was sinking with hers. Her eyes widened. She grabbed a nearby rail, nearly buckled. She could feel his heartbeat. Then she could feel what he was dreaming. She gasped. It wasn't blood or fear. It wasn't war or pain. It was her. Jake dreaming of her. Not her armor. Not her war skills. Her smile. Her hips. Her dragging him by the collar. Him, pressed against her chamber walls, breathing fast, saying, "Is this diplomacy now?" Her cheeks went hot. She turned away. Instinct. Her palms shook. This bond, this healing, was too much. Too deep. Too human. The pod chirped. Stabilizing complete. It opened with a hiss. Jake gasped in. His eyes fluttered. He blinked once. Twice. Then focused on her. "You okay?" he whispered. She choked on the laugh. "You almost died." "Yeah. But you look like the one having a crisis." He sat up, slowly, and noticed her flushed cheeks. "What happened?" "We healed you." Deep link. Neural. And, you felt things. Her jaw clenched. She looked away. "You flirt in your dreams." Jake blinked. Then grinned. "Anything good?" She faced him again, fire in her eyes. You embarrass me. What, me? No way. I barely remember anything. Except your voice, your hands. He stood, barely shirted, bandages glowing. Valthera moved closer. You should rest. You should admit it. She leaned in, dangerous again now. Dominant. Admit what? That you liked what you saw in my mind too. That pause was eternity. Then. She whispered, I liked, too much. Jake raised an eyebrow. You saying you're into me, or in complete denial? That's when the ship pulsed. Light shifted. Red glow returned. System alert, unidentified energy, life force near core. Valthera's head snapped up. What now? Jake grabbed his shirt. Please tell me the clone didn't reboot. No. She narrowed her eyes. Something older. Valthera moved toward the exit. Then stopped. Looked over her shoulder. Stay here. Jake tightened his boots. Not a chance. I told you. You bonded with me. She paused. That means either I'm part of the fight now. He smirked. Or you're hot alien bed toy with attitude. She sighed. Turned away but smiled. Fine. Try not to flirt with whatever else shows up. Jake followed. But inside? That pressure was already building again. Because whatever was waiting in the core wasn't just old. It felt jealous. And suddenly, Jake wondered, who else used to touch her the way he just did? To be continued. Flashed face fire. Black question mark ornament comment below. If another alien X shows up, should Jake fight him with brains? Or just take the shirt back off? Smirking face flex biceps. Jake always knew two things about himself. He talked too much. He never backed down from a woman way out of his league. Turns out, Valthera was both. Now he was running behind her, barefoot, shirt sticking with sweat, following an 11-foot-tall general who just did something no man had ever done. Let him inside her, in every way except one. But that part? That might be next. If they survived. The violet halls pulsed with strange electricity. Weapons glowed without being touched. The entire ship felt alive. Not like systems running. More like jealous. Hungry. Watching. Something deep down was waking up. Jake noticed. V, why does your ship feel like it wants to undress me and then eject me into space? Valthera answered without turning. Because it remembers him. Him? She stopped. Turned back. Not smiling. My last candidate. Jake blinked. Then double blinked. Wait, there was another me. No. Not human. An alien X. She didn't answer. Oh my God. Was he taller? Valthera turned again, faster this time. She walked. Harder. Like she didn't want to be talking at all. The difference is, you made the ship choose. And this other guy. I did. Jake paused a beat. Still kinda hoping he has 3 eyes and a weak jawline. They turned a corner, and stopped. The core chamber loomed. Dark. Massive. Breathing. Symbols throbbed across the walls. One large organic control throne in the center. Already occupied. A being sat there. Not moving. Not blinking. Not human. 8 feet tall. Covered in obsidian skin. Smooth. Too perfect. No mouth. Just glowing white eyes, and symbols across its arm like scars from another time. Jake leaned in to whisper. That your ex? Valthera nodded slowly. He stayed connected. Even after I ended it. Yikes. The entity rose. Smooth steps. Then, a voice. Not from its mouth, but from the ship itself. A hollow, perfect voice. "Why have you returned, General?" Jake spoke first. "She brought me." The being paused. "You are not worthy." Jake crossed his arms. Says the guy still sitting around in his ex's memory core. Valthera stepped forward. "He is my bonded choice." The being didn't move. But the ship trembled. "You reject my imprint." "I do." "He is stronger." Jake blinked. "Okay, let's not lie, I cried during Finding Nemo, but I'll take the compliment." The room darkened. Energy threaded the walls in red. The old creature extended one arm. The ship glitched. Systems whined. Jake stumbled back, eyes wide. Valthera stood her ground. "You do not control this ship anymore." The voice replied. "Then he must prove himself." A green glowing rod rose from the floor and floated in front of Jake. He stared. This is either a ceremonial weapon. He touched it. Or a sex toy with ancient batteries. Valthera didn't blink. Jake turned to her. "What is this?" She locked eyes with him. "If you take it, you're claiming me." "Entirely." "If you fail." Jake nodded. "I die." "No," she said softly. "I do." Silence. Then Jake did something insane. He winked. And grabbed the rod. The moment he touched it, heat exploded through his chest. Visions. Emotions. Her body. Her pain. Her victories. Her loneliness. Her pleasure. He saw it all. And she saw him. Down to the ugly parts. The bedroom jokes he never said out loud. The bite marks he never forgot. The ex who laughed when he cried. Every wall dropped. Valthera gasped. Jake opened his eyes. And blinked. He knew everything now. And he still wanted her. More than ever. The dark being raised its arms, ready to attack. But it was too late. Jake gripped the bonded rod tight. And whispered to the ship. "You chose me. Now obey." The lights flashed blinding white. Valthera stepped beside him. Her hand on his back. Warm. Firm. The ship sank to silence. The old flame? Gone. Core shut. Energy sealed. Over. Jake exhaled. Valthera stood still. He turned to her, breathing hard. "So. Another breath. You picked me." She didn't answer. She kissed him. No warning. No hesitation. Hot. Long deep. She pulled away, gripping the front of his shirt. "You've made a mistake." Jake grinned, dizzy. "Do it again and I'll call it destiny." She growled low and laughed. "Now, partner." Her hand slid to his belt. "Let's see if you can survive this bond." In your imagination, smirking face. Black question mark ornament comment below. If they finally go all the way. Should she take the lead? Or should Jake make her beg for it? Winking face fire.